Good evening, Blue fans, and welcome here at the Alab Sports Complex as we bring you another showdown in the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. It's the one-of-one basketball club of Thailand Domino against our very own San Miguel, Alab Pilipinas. Brought to you live by ABS-CBN and virtual playground. And now let's call out the teams. First, the visiting Mono Vampire Basketball Club from Thailand. Number 2, Freddie Bliss.
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here.
Number 7, Number 11, Moses Morgan. Number 14, Alab Pilipinas. Number 15, Justin Knowles. Number 22, Michael Morrison. Number 33, Lamar Sankar. Number 36, Saul Simonson. Number 65, Number 77, Chinchay Arante. And number 79, Chitapon Kuao.
Hello everybody and good evening. We are coming to you from inside the Caloocan Sports Complex right here in Caloocan City in the Philippines to bring you the action of Season 10 of your ASEAN Basketball League Rise to Greatness. And we have these two teams featured for tonight's matchup. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, the home team at 6-3 right now, going up against the visiting Mono Vampire Basketball Club of Thailand. Now sits at the number 1 spot of our team standings with an 8-3 record at this point of the season. You guys are joined by Martin Aguiar. Good evening, everybody. Today I'll be working alongside Mr. Game Time Mix Bustos here in the coverage. Mix, welcome to the coverage here. Good evening. How are you?
Doing great, Martin. Great to be here. Great to be here in Caloocan Sports Complex. Again, another Alab home game.
That's right. It is going to be interesting because these two teams will be meeting for the 3rd time this season. Right now, they're 1-1 in their season series. But before anything else, before we go into the details, let's take a quick scan of the team standings and see what situation both teams are in at this point of our tournament.
As we can see, Martin, Mono Vampire and Taipei, Fuwon Brave, both have 8 wins apiece. The 3rd and 4th is the Alab Pilipinas. And Formosa Dreamers both have 6 wins, but then at the middle of the pack, it is a tight race all throughout as both Macau teams are identical, 5-7. And that Swan-Tail Dragons is at 4-3, while the Singapore Slingers, Hong Kong Eastern, and Saigon teams are at the cellar. It is unusual, Martin, for these teams, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Hong Kong Eastern, and Saigon team to be at this part of the team standings because usually in the past years they have been at the top. And right now, Alab Pilipinas is comfortably sitting at 3rd and hoping for a win for Alab Pilipinas today.
That's right, and that's the situation right now. You're right. Singapore, Hong Kong, Saigon, this is unfamiliar territory for them. They're off to a slow start this year. They're still trying to adjust with the talent and the level of competition that we have here in season number 10. But, trust the process for them. They're going to be able to adjust to this and they're going to be able to rack up some wins. But for both of these teams, Mono Vampire, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, right now they're 1-1 in their season series. But before we go and proceed to our discussion here, let's go first to our Coliseum announcer, Top Juliano, for the introduction of the starters.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise as we call in Miss Gwinnett Colorado from virtual playground to lead us in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pelas na silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay, lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa mandulupig, di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim, lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo.
Both teams may proceed to the center court for the pre-game handshake.
Back to the broadcast right after the Philippine national anthem. Both teams at midcourt right now. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and Mono Vampire Basketball Club. And this is a team from Thailand. These teams 1-1 in their season series so far. Mono taking care of the first one, and then the second one went to San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, which was also held here, but that was back in San Juan inside the Phil Oil Flying V Center. Now, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they are coming off a tough win on the road against Hong Kong Eastern. They avoided the complete meltdown here, Mix, because they led it by as many as 18 points in the first half. Hong Kong with a furious rally in the second half, even led it by 3 in the final moments, but ultimately Alab Pilipinas able to hang on.
28 assists and 25 bench points. That was the key for Alab Pilipinas in getting that game. Actually, Martin, Alab led early on and took control in the first 3 quarters, but Hong Kong came back in the fourth and with a crucial rally and had a comfortable lead. Good thing for Alab Pilipinas, they were able to answer back, and it was a great thing. It was a great defense by Jeremiah Gray. He showed some clutch defense in the end game. He blocked a potential game-winning 3 by the Hong Kong Eastern, and they also made a living inside the paint. 44-34 plus 10 on points in the paint. Fast break points also 17-5, and as I mentioned a while ago, 25 bench points. That was a crucial factor for Alab Pilipinas. That's why they got usual production other than their imports. That's why they came away with the win.
Mono Vampire, on the other hand, also coming off a road win against the Singapore Singers, 67-65, gutting it out against the defense of Singapore in that game. But this year, Alab Pilipinas, well, they have a king and a prince in their lineup right now. Prince Williams, the newcomer. Well, across-the-board production here. And, of course, Nick King, ever reliable for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, still producing consistent numbers for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
In 9 games of Alab Pilipinas, Nick King was there, averaging monster numbers for him. He had 24-7-1, as you mentioned, Martin. The newcomer in Prince Williams, it will be a key for them to have to be able to have that 1-2 punch in terms of offense. That was the first game of Prince Williams, 14-6-4, but Nick King is averaging 19.5 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.1 assists per game.
Now, these two players will be key for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas tonight as they battle the #1 team, current #1 team right now in ABL 10, Mono Vampire from Thailand, holding an 8-3 record, and it's because of the ever-stellar play of the world import that's been fueling this Mono Vampire offense. Mike Singletary, yet another day in the office against Singapore. He was the only guy in double figures in that game. The only guy who actually exploded against the defense of Singapore. 24 points on the road at the OCBC Arena.
He's been and around in the ABL and a proven veteran in this league. Actually, Martin, the first game of Mono Vampire, they blew Alab Pilipinas up 111-76. He had 19-11 that game, and it was more of a vindication for Alab Pilipinas. In their next game, they beat Mono Vampire, but then Michael Singletary has always been a proven scorer. He's averaging 23 points, 10.7 rebounds, and close to 6 assists per game.
Had 17 rebounds against the Singapore Slingers, and that was up against the big men, especially Anthony McLean, and on the road as well for Mike Singletary. So expect that kind of production, that kind of night from Mike Singletary, but I'm pretty sure the home team, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, prepared for that very well going into this game. Now, this is going to be a key matchup in the season, 3rd time they're meeting. Let's see how they will fare against each other tonight. It's now time for us to meet the starters from both teams. Back to the coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, and starters from both teams here usual faces for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, going with the 3 world imports. Of course, you got Deguara, you got Williams, Nick King, joining our Jeremiah Gray, and at point guard, one of the best passers in the league, and Jason Brickman, our officials for today's matchup. Singapore, Indonesia, Taiwan represented here, and Mono Vampire on the other hand, going full force here with Mike Singletary, Mike Morrison, and Preston Knowles in the fold here, alongside Tyler Lam. So that's going to be an interesting lineup here for Mono Vampire. But also starting is Naratip Bunserm, who is a lengthy player, local player from Mono Vampire. And usually in the season, you know, we've seen Tyler Lam actually come off the bench, but tonight he's going to be starting.
Yeah, they know what's at stake, Martin. Mono Vampire has to start strong.
That's right. You cannot start slow against Alab Pilipinas, rather. Prince Williams, first possession for the home team here. Alab Pilipinas, again at 6-3 going into tonight's matchup. Prince Williams had several of those in the last game against Hong Kong. Deguara getting the offensive rebound. Quickly double team, goes to the other side. And one more time for Big Sam to open the scoring in this game.
I like Sam Deguara's hustle and patience. That was a great showing of the dribble drive offense by Coach Jimmy Alapag. You know, he's been there. He's always been there inside the paint. He knows what to do, even though he gets double. A great show of patience by Sam Deguara.
7'6", Maltese big man, former world import as well of Mono Vampire a couple of seasons ago. Singletary knocks it down from mid-range.
I like the jump shot of Michael Singletary. Every time he gets some space,
Yeah.
he jumps high. He has long hands. Impossible to block his jump shot.
Yeah, Singletary is not flashy, but he gets the job done. Always had that reliable jump shot. Williams short on the jumper. Singletary grabs his first board. And play is broken up by King. Williams tried to save it, but he was already outside. It's our go for her first report. Joining us here is our courtside reporter, Miss Ayana Perlas. Ayana?
Martin and Miggs, if there is one thing Coach Jimmy Alapag always reiterates to the Alab Pilipinas team, it is to have that control the tempo and run the plays mindset, which is exactly what the team lacked in their last game against Hong Kong, which led to a 1-point win. From being too confident and relaxing in the last game, Coach Jimmy mentioned that sure, he can express his frustrations to the team now, but at the end of the day, it's still up to the players to wake up. And most especially in today's game, going against the current #1 team in the league. What do you think, Martin and Miggs?
Thank you so much, Ayana. Well, they're coming off a character game against Hong Kong Eastern because they were able to avoid the complete meltdown. They were still able to get the win. But given that they were able to lead it by 18 points as Big Sam swats that one away. Not in his house. All right. Let's take a look at first this move by Morrison. Trying to make his move. And that's his usual move. Talking about Mike Morrison. But Sam Deguara, he just swats that one away. Too long, too big for Mike Morrison. Tyler Lam off the inbound. Nothing but nets.
When it's baseline inbounds, Martin, you have to look at the switches. You have to look at the picks. And that was a great pick for Tyler Lam. That's why he was open for the jump shot.
Oh, Williams slipped. Gray recovers. Missing the mark, though. Preston Knowles starting it. Singletary. Mike against King. Kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler Lam against Jeremiah Gray. Good local matchup here we have. Over 2 minutes gone. Tyler Lam from mid-range. Back rim to shot. Preston Knowles comes away with it. An offensive rebound and a fresh 14 for Mono Vampire. Knowles, couple of hesitations, and Morrison throws it down.
That's the way to finish against Sam Deguara. Wow.
And that's why they got him. Mike Morrison, look at this. Pick and roll action. And the pass, pocket pass by Preston Knowles. Look at that one more time, the two-hander.
That started, Martin, with the screen of Mike Morrison. He got Jeremiah Gray out. That's why Sam Deguara was forced to help and go outside against Preston Knowles. When he saw the opening for Mike Morrison, Sam Deguara was too late on the defense. That's why he was able to finish hard.
That was a rare open opportunity for the slam for Mike Morrison. And that's his first basket and free throw off the ball game. Mono Vampire ahead by 5 early on here. Nick King tracks it down, lobs it up to Big Sam. Deguara likes this matchup. Oh, that was a hard bump. And they're going to call this one as a blocking foul against Mike Morrison. Yeah, it's called against Mike. Let's take a look at that. Feels like Sam lowered his shoulder, Mix. But
it's tough to call,
Yeah.
especially against a tall and hefty big man in Sam Deguara.
that's right. So that's a fair call. Brickman sends it to Deguara. Oh, shooting the jumper. In and out for Big Sam. Rebound goes to Singletary.
Well, Mono Vampire is Sam's former team.
That's right. So they know how he operates. Oh, Morrison catching the lob and finishes off the glass.
Some extra words given after that finish.
So early caller in the ball game. As early as the first 3 minutes. Williams stepped back. Jumper is good. That's a three-pointer for Prince. Alab Pilipinas within 4. Bit of a dry spell experienced by this lineup earlier. Tyler floats it up and in. Second bucket of the game for Tyler.
I like what Mono Vampire is doing. They're really forcing Mike Morrison out for Sam Deguara to help out and take him out of the paint.
Jeremiah Gray missing the mark. And ball tapped out of bounds. Ball going back to Mono Vampire here. They have the 11-5 lead. And here's a step back earlier. Prince Williams left open for the three-pointer. 6:25 remaining in the first quarter here. 6-point lead for the visiting squad. Lamb, Knowles. Oh, finding Morrison. They kick it out to Lamb for 3. Lamb knocks it down. And Mono Vampire off to a fantastic start here. Tyler Lamb with 7 points, accounting for half of the total right now of Mono Vampire. They take the 9-point lead going into this gap. Back to the coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. I believe this is a 7-0 run right now for Mono Vampire. Jason Brickman struggled from the field against Hong Kong Eastern. He was 1 out of 9. I think he was only able to make it or make the shot in the second half. But Jason Brickman did have 16 assists, and that's what you get from Jason Brickman. Doesn't score a lot. At least he doesn't want to.
Yes, that's true. Well, that's the job of a Jason Brickman. He's one of the rare breed of traditional point guards. He doesn't really need to score much, but those 16 assists, that can translate to 32 or 40 points. That's what he does best. He's averaging close to 9 assists per ball game, Martin.
That's right. Jason Brickman, again, the top assist man right now of the league. Fantastic showing so far in his first season in an Alab Pilipinas jersey. But again, they're coming off a character game against Hong Kong, like Ayana was pointing out earlier in her report, and they were able to weather the storm on the road, and they're hoping to carry that momentum here. They're hoping that they have already learned the lessons in that game against Hong Kong Eastern, but they're facing a different monster. That is Mono Vampire, and that's a 3 seconds violation called against Sam Deguara here. That's another turnover for Alab Pilipinas.
You can really see, Martin, that Coach Jimmy Alapag wants Sam Deguara to be the first option. But at the same time, they have a lot of weapons. They have a lot of tools to generate the offense in King and Williams.
Yeah, but so far, limited touches from those guys. Morrison losing it. Deguara saving it. Gray to King. King sidesteps, puts it up, gets fouled in the process. He heads to the line for a couple of shots. That's going to be a personal charge against Mike Singletary.
Well, Alab is fast. Alab can play defense. And if they can push the tempo like this, keep the defense on their heels. And that may be the key in getting back in this game.
So Nick King to the free throw line. Solid season so far for King. 24 points in their previous game. And he has been, the solid world import. As the one who was retained at least at this point. Because Wyatt is gone. Oh, he misses the second though. Singletary pushing. Bounce pass to Morrison, who blows the layup. Jason Brickman is on the move. Gets it to King. King again, Singletary. Denied by Mike. Oh, snatched away by Preston Knowles. Mono off and running. They don't have the numbers. So Lam will go cross-court to Mike Singletary, who will wait. He will reset the offense here. Mike going to Preston Knowles for three. And he swishes that one through.
It was because of the mismatch on the switch. Singletary was against Brickman and against a slower matchup of Preston Knowles. That's why he got open for that shot.
Oh, good cut coming from Jeremiah Gray. Count that one, plus the foul for Maya.
I like how Alab Pilipinas will utilize Maya Gray. As we can see this, that was a good backdoor cut. Great read on Mono's defense. That's why he was open and took it strong to the hole.
Now, because Jeremiah Gray, can do a lot of things on the court, plays above the rim as well.
Yeah.
Very athletic. And you saw the 2 blocks in the end game he did against, or he got against Hong Kong Eastern. That shows you about his defensive prowess, defensive arsenal as well.
Jordan Heading is in the ball game. Phil Australian. Went to college in the U.S.
That's right. Heading is in the ball game, with 3-point shooter as well. Bunsen going to Preston Knowles on the high-low. He likes that matchup with Jason Brickman at the post. And Knowles will be fouled here by Jason, but Alab Pilipinas not yet in the penalty. Only a second-team foul for the White Shirts. Knowles to Bunsen. Bunsen going to Morrison. Mid-range jumper is good over Big Sam.
That's the way to go. If you're Mono Vampire, hit the shots from the perimeter and get Sam Deguara uncomfortable.
And Deguara is left alone. He rips the rim.
But Morrison not liking that. He claimed that he was pushed off. No call there. Good thing the ring was intact.
Yeah. My goodness. I thought it was going to fall down. Deguara with the retaliation against Morrison. Deguara. Morrison got the bump. Did not make the shot. And here comes Jason Brickman. Brickman going to Williams. King is at the post against Mike Singletary. King is backing up. Williams is open. Williams. Yeah!
Great read by Nick King. He saw the cutting Prince Williams at the corner. We thought that he was going to drop it down to Sam Deguara, but a great read by Prince Williams at that end.
King taking care of business. Second triple off the game, but that is quickly answered by Mike Singletary.
What's been working so far with Mono Vampire is how they set their screens. There were numerous occasions that Lam and Singletary were open because of the screens.
That's right. King inside. Morrison bothering that shot. Deguara gets the offensive rebound. And we have a foul on the floor here. If that's on Mike, that's going to be his second, but it doesn't look like it's going to be on Mike Singletary. Let's take a look at this replay. This is what you were mentioning earlier. Oh, this was the jam by Big Sam. Yeah, that was what Morrison was contesting, rather. He was pushed away, but no foul was given. And Deguara will be replaced first. He will take a rest. Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser on the court now for the first time.
A sigh of relief, perhaps, for the defense of Mono Vampire.
Yeah. Deguara is such a threat here in the first quarter, although Alab trying to turn up the pace here as King misses the triple try. Chichay Ananti also in the game, very talented local player also from Thailand. Part of the national team as well.
With Tyler Lam.
That's right. Played in the SEA Games. Oh, Morrison with quick spin. Good steady defense by Ganuelas-Rosser. Morrison doesn't run back down, and Jason Brickman drops it in from the corner.
Great thing, Jason Brickman was ready. He hesitated for a bit, but then that is sugar's touch.
And Alab Pilipinas forcing the turnover. King on the move, getting fouled by Moses Morgan.
2 times, almost a travel, but then he got away with it.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the replay here. Nick King going to Jason Brickman, who had all day to shoot for that one. He swishes that one through, and the lead is down to 5 for Mono Vampire. Back to the action. Here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, and Mike Morrison on your screens again, replacing Ryan Watkins several games ago. Look at his averages here. Solid numbers, and this is why they got Mike Morrison. And that's primarily because he is able to get that defensive presence in the painted area, averaging 2 blocks per game alongside the double-double.
Well, not much on the point production for Mike Morrison in their last game against the Singapore Slingers. Only with 7 points. Had 14 rebounds, but now he's starting out strong. He's starting out to be aggressive. He's battling it out at the defensive end against Sam DeGuara. No, it takes a lot to bump the big man and at the same time to be productive also on offense. And so far, Mike Morrison has been doing a great job on both ends.
This is his 4th game in a Mono Vampire jersey. And those are the averages you saw earlier. Morrison coming from George Mason University. A little bit undersized as well, rather. Same with Ryan Watkins, both 6'9", but he has a longer wingspan. That's why he's able to create that intimidation at the middle spot. Nick King missing on the first free throw. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas on the comeback trail here, after being down big earlier against Mono. Nick King knocking down the second. Lawrence Domingo coming in, replacing King for a breather towards the end of the first quarter. So Williams, the only remaining world import on the floor right now for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Morgan to Freddie Lees, who just checked in. Leash, baseline move. Chantacion with a putback. That's Big Terawat scoring the deuce. Williams, no good. And Morgan gets it. Moses to Freddy. They go to Chichay. No. Back to Ananti. He chooses to drive. Floater is good for Chichay Ananti.
I like how the locals, high locals, have been productive in both sequences.
Yeah. So Chichay Ananti scoring the deuce, stretching the lead back up to 8. Domingo to Williams. He drives baseline. He loses possession. Freddie Leash on the move. Freddie, drop off to Chichay. That is broken up. Alab Pilipinas with the ball. They have the numbers. Williams fakes the pass all the way. No good, but as Rosser right there to clean up the mess. And add a foul to the equation there. He's got a free throw coming up.
We can see this. Prince Williams kind of hesitated. Not much spacing on the 2-on-1. That's why he decided to go all the way. But then nobody boxing out Brandon Rosser. And good thing for him, he got an end one.
Yeah. And Wallace Rosser at the free throw line. Andy Karakut checking in. Fresh grad of Del Salle University here in the Philippines. So Wallace Rosser at the free throw line, couldn't complete it. And Karakut is at the point guard position for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He is checking Freddie Leash. Singletary. A minute and 20 remaining in the opening frame. We got Freddie here against Karakut. Leash, the Thai American, looking for that pick and roll with Chantacion. Good denial. An anti-difficult shot. He forced that one up. Moses Morgan ran out of time because it did not hit the rim. So shot clock violation against Mono.
Martin, it'll be interesting on how they will utilize Jordan Heading. Jordan Heading actually played point guard when he was in university.
Right.
And he's playing the 2 guard now, but he has good shooting also, has good hands.
That's right.
And can knock down some big shots.
In most of the games, he's played the 2. So it's more of a, well, he rarely drives, more of a spot-up shooter.
But he can play the 1 too.
Yeah, correct. Karakut going to King. King catches the lob. King, pass taken by Ananti. Ananti cross court. Singletary. Denied by Domingo. Lodo with the denial. Karakut. Heading. They go to Nick King. King carving space. Bounce pass inside. Domingo. Too strong.
Transition defense is the name of the game. There have been a couple of sequences that Alab was late. That's why Chantacion and Ananti were able to score a few moments ago.
20-26. About 2 seconds differential between the clocks. Leash, a screen from Big. Leash to Mike. Singletary missing the mark. A little bit too strong on the 3-point attempt. So 3.1 remaining for Alab Pilipinas to manufacture a shot. Let's take a look at the rejection by Lawrence Domingo. Perfectly timed block coming from Lodo.
3 seconds remaining for Alab Pilipinas. That's why Freddy Leash is at the front court to prevent a running Alab. But still a lot of time is 3 seconds.
Yeah, Tarakut gets it across the heave. Almost went in. Went for the banker there, but it was off the mark. And after the first 10 minutes of play here, it is the visiting Mono Vampire maintaining the 6-point lead mix after a very action-packed first quarter.